Some people don't respect boundaries, and some, like my father-in-law, think they can do whatever they want, no matter how much it disrespects others. This is the story of how I finally put my foot down. My husband Jake dated Lauren for 3 years in college. They were even planning to get married until she got pregnant and admitted the baby might not be his. A paternity test later confirmed that Jake was the father, but by then, the trust was gone. They broke up, but he agreed to co-parent. Tragically, their baby was born with a heart defect and passed away at just 4 months old. Jake and Lauren were devastated. She eventually moved away to start fresh, and Jake met me a few years later. We got married 2 years ago, and despite everything, Lauren was no longer in the picture. But my father-in-law never let her go. He adored Lauren, thought she was the perfect match for Jake, and between his obsession with his former almost daughter-in-law and the fact that I come from a different background, he never truly accepted me. He made it clear, in subtle and not so subtle ways. He excluded me from family photos, made passive-aggressive comments, once even told Jake he should have married someone like Lauren. But the final straw? That came on his birthday. Jake wanted to throw his father a huge birthday celebration at our house. I helped plan everything, picked out the cake, decorated the space, even helped Jake choose a ridiculously expensive custom leather watch as a gift. Because despite everything, I knew Jake loved his dad and I wanted to support that. The party was going great, until he walked in with Lauren. Nobody knew she was coming, not even Jake. Apparently, my father-in-law had run into Lauren at a store, except it was clear he had deliberately sought her out. He decided that since she was part of the family once, she should be reintegrated back into our lives. I was already upset, but I bit my tongue. I wanted to believe it was just an awkward situation and nothing more. Then he started pushing them together. Jake, why don't you sit next to Lauren? Lauren, why don't you go help Jake with the grill? Lauren, why don't you ask Jake where the wine glasses are? The entire night, I had to sit there and watch my father-in-law shove his ex-girlfriend in his face. And my husband? He was uncomfortable but too afraid to make a scene on his dad's birthday. I was holding it together, until the end of the night. Right as people were leaving, my father-in-law gave one final order. Lauren, give Jake a hug before you go. Jake hesitated. He said no. But his dad kept pushing. Come on, son. She's practically family. And then, Jake gave in. Right in front of me, he wrapped his arms around his ex. I was done. As soon as they left, I turned to Jake. What the hell was that? He sighed. I didn't want to upset my dad on his birthday. I snapped. But you didn't mind upsetting me? He tried to calm me down, saying he didn't mean anything by it, and that it was just a hug. But I wasn't buying it. You didn't do it for him. You did it because it was easier to deal with my feelings later. Silence. Then, I said the words I had been holding back for too long. Your father is no longer welcome in our home. Jake's face fell. You're overreacting. Am I? He has disrespected me since day one. He brought your ex into our home and treated her like she was still your wife. And you let him. We argued. I slept on the couch. The next morning I packed a bag. I needed space. As I was loading my suitcase into the car, a neighbor must have seen me because Jake came home.